What's up, Craig?
What's going on? Distortion again?
More distortion.
Yeah.
What are we
We're
talking
gonna
about today?
MXR shoot app.
More.
Yeah. More?
No.
Not more.
Not more.
MXR.
MXR.
More was last episode.
That's right. That's right.
In this episode, we start with a cup of Joe.
And what do we use this coffee for? This is sort of our personal overdrive.
It really is.
Right?
Yeah, it pushes us over the top.
Exactly. Exactly. When you just kind of like, you know,
Uh-huh.
you're dragging through your day, you need a
Yeah.
little bit of push.
You're
right?
100%. This is our overdrive.
Yeah. Cheers.
And this is also a very good opportunity for people to hit the subscribe button. Right?
And hit the bell icon for the notifications.
Yep.
So when we publish new videos, you'll be notified.
It's kind of like iced coffee at this point, though,
Yeah.
which is still pretty good.
It's still pretty good. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, overdrive. In the day where you just needed to push that a little extra, it's always nice to have an overdrive pedal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're big into overdrive.
I am.
When I think of you, I think of Marshall and overdrive.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a winning combination.
It is a winning combination.
It is. You can't
So
beat it.
tell us about why. How did that come about? I know you also like distortion pedals. Not a
I
big
do.
fuzz
No,
pedal fan.
I'm not really a
but
fuzz fan.
I know that you. I think of the overdrive pedal when I think of Joe Marcel
Interesting.
all the time.
Interesting.
So-
Cool. Yeah, you know, I always, if you go back, you know, when I was growing up and learning how to play guitar, I traditionally had older style Marshall amps that needed some additional gain, right? Most of those amps sounded awesome, cranked. You can't really crank them unless you're in some huge room, which was almost never the case. So to get the kind of sustain and gain that you really wanted to hear, you needed to push it.
Yeah.
So either there'd be a distortion pedal somewhere or an overdrive. And I learned sort of years down the road that my preference really was towards an overdrive because it wasn't necessarily the amount of distortion that I was looking for. It was the quality of the sustain.
Exactly. Yep. And
That I
that's
was
the
looking
key.
for.
That's the key right there.
Exactly. And I found that an overdrive pedal achieves that for me a little bit better than a straight up distortion.
Yeah. So for me, it kind of keeps the natural tone of the amp, but just gives you that a little extra.
Little
sustain.
extra.
Whereas the
Exactly.
distortion will actually overlay a little more over the
Exactly.
sound of the amp.
Distortion is more than likely going to change your tone
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and you know, clip the signal a bit more.
Yep.
Where an overdrive is going to be a little more true to, like, you know, to your point. What I like to do with an overdrive is I like to use it to push the amp that's already sort of driven. I don't necessarily run my amps pristinely clean for a few reasons. Number one, I don't really play a lot of clean. Okay,
True.
so if I'm doing some clean, I'll usually do it in a recording, and I might not even use an amp to record cleans. I might go direct, as an example.
Sure.
So it doesn't bother me to not have a pristine clean sound
Right.
for my amp. Just stylistically, that works for me.
And what I'll do is if the sound does have a little grit to it, if you roll back on your guitar volume,
There's
a
your
bit,
clean sound.
you clean it right up.
Exactly.
So I'm always the guy that's always just leaving it
Exactly.
on one channel and adjusting accordingly.
Exactly. So that's what I would do, and I found that if you take an overdrive and you know, push the output, so you're hitting the front end of the amp a little bit harder, you're going to get that natural compression in the tubes a little bit
Yep.
better. It's going to feel a little bit better under your fingers.
Sure.
And then you just add gain to taste.
Yep.
You know, do you want more gain? You want less gain, right? And that's sort of how I run it.
Sure.
And today we have two MXRs. We have the original version of the Wylde Overdrive. Came out in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, somewhere around there. A couple of years in, they changed the casing. So it's sort of a different. They call it the Berserker or
Yep.
Overdrive.
Yep, got it. Yeah.
But it was
Berserker.
Berserker.
Clerks.
But they it retained the same internals.
Yeah.
So it was the same kind of thing. I think this is sort of modeled after the Boss Overdrive, the yellow, what is it,
Yes,
OD,
yep.
SD,
Super
SD,
Overdrive,
Super Overdrive,
yeah,
right, SD1. Because I think that's what Zach was using before
Yep.
this. And the other one is an MXR Custom Shop GT-OD, came out again around, 2008, 2005, mid-2000s, very TS style, right? Meaning it has that mid-hump
Yep.
in it, where this I don't think really does have a mid-hump. That does. Fun fact, if you open up this pedal, there is a dip switch on the inside, which actually converts it
Into that. Yeah.
which is kind of cool. So they're essentially the same pedal. If you get this one, it's like getting both, because you can just hit that switch on the inside and
Yep.
sort of choose which one you want to
There you
use
have it,
whenever
yeah.
you want it.
And just for clarity here, this is just our AB switch. So if
This
you
is
see
our
an
AB
frame,
switch, exactly.
That's how we always, sometimes it's on the floor, you'll see us stomping every now and then to
Correct.
change guitars, and that's all that is.
Correct. And our straight-in sound is a 20-watt Marshall JCM 800.
Yep, it's been our standard lately.
Yes, yes. So we opened up the video with this one, so why don't we hear this guy now?
Yeah.
All right, tell me what you think of this one. I'm going to...
And for full disclosure, I'm using a Joe pick.
Yes.
I'm using a purple pick today.
Yes.
That's just as synonymous with you as the Overdrive
Vortex Jazz, all the way. Heavy.
I'm fumbling around because when we started this episode, I couldn't find my damn Jazz 3. So
Dunlop, Vortex, Jazz 3, the heavy ones, the purple
it's very
ones.
similar
I
to
love
Jazz 3, but it's just
It's a little different. Yeah,
it's a little
different feel.
So, but anyway, back to it. So yeah, can we switch between? So I
Sure.
can
Now they're set up basically the same in terms of controls.
I think the green has a little more bite to it.
It's got that mid-range.
Yeah,
that mid-range bump, right?
I'm digging the green.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, let me hear you. The green all day, every day. Yep, that's not even. I don't want to get into my head that I'm going to think any other way, but 100%. I don't know how it's coming across on camera or on audio, but in here,
the green wins.
You can't compare.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah. I'm all in on the green.
Yeah.
Where do I get one?
Yeah, you can.
You get them?
Yeah, they still make them. I don't think they're like custom shop anymore. I think they just
Yeah.
they're regular now. When they first came out, they were custom shop. I don't think there's a difference.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, they're still available. This one's not available anymore. Zach split with Dunlop and MXR a couple of years ago, I think. So they don't make this anymore. But they're all over the place. You can get this one or the rehoused version on Reverb.
But you don't need to because the green that's the one to buy.
That's the one to buy. So. It's awesome. It's a really great overdrive.
Yeah.
I've been using it more or less as my main overdrive for a long time.
Yeah.
Until I got the dual fusion because it gives me a little bit more flexibility.
You get the two stages.
Two stages, exactly.
True.
But I mean, even for recording and lead stuff or whatever, it works.
Yep.
It's got that mid bump and it's got more gain to me than a traditional TS style pedal.
Yeah.
So it's got more on tap, and it's got a lot of output on this pedal too.
Yeah. No, that's man. Of everything we've reviewed, distortion, fuzz, to me that's the coolest thing so far.
Yeah.
In this vein.
Right.
But
right.
in the gain vein. In the gain vein. In the main gain vein.
Vein of gain.
So what's cool, the main vein.
In the gain of, right. In the vein of gain.
Yeah. Right. Should be the next name of your band. Right. The Vein of Gain. Anyway, so what we're going to do, which is going to be in a future episodes, we're going to take the winners of all these and pit them against each other. So we'll go fuzz versus distortion versus overdrive, take all the winners that we've selected and really hear them all back to back to back and see what the true winner is of this battle of the gain.
Exactly. So. Which is cool. And we, you know, if you want to see some other head-to-head sort of shootout type videos, other types of distortions or whatever, just let us know, and we'll go from there.
Cool.
Right?
Yep.
Anything else? Green wins all the way.
All right. Subscribe. We'll be back.
See you guys.
Peace.